Star Wars Jedi Survivor was bombarded with negative reviews on Steam because of how badly it performs. No matter how powerful your PC is, the game still is not able to maintain a 60 FPS. I was running the game with a Ryzen 5800X and an RTX 3060, which is more than capable to run the game at high settings at 1080p, but the game was not able to do so, and it was running it at 35 to 40 FPS. It's also weird to see no Nvidia DLSS but only AMD FSR. But regardless, using AMD FSR also did not improve performance. Even utilizing AMD FSR's Ultra Performance mode, the game first of all looks horrible and it still did not improve performance. And the funny thing is the same thing is happening in PlayStation and Xbox as well. Neither PlayStation or Xbox is able to handle the game at 60 FPS constantly. However, console players are having a much better time than PC players because in PC you get a hell of a lot of stutters, lags, and because of it, it never feels like you're running the game at 40 FPS. It always feels like you're running the game below 30 FPS. There is one particular moment in the game where you are inside the Mantis, and this was present in Jedi Fallen Order as well, where you are trying to select which planet you want to go to. When that screen pops up, it feels like I'm playing the game at 15 FPS. I can see that there's a lot more particle effects in that particular moment, which might be the reason why it's hampering the performance, but 15 FPS? That's way too low. And because of this performance issue, many players are not willing to go ahead and actually play the game because the game is incredible. Respawn knows what Star Wars fans want, and that's exactly what they give us. If Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was like an Uncharted, then Jedi Survivor is like God of War, because the game gives you a huge area to explore, something that the original was very limited with. You are always intrigued with what's going on in that location and you end up exploring it by climbing and doing parkour. Sometimes you just explore and just love the environment itself because it's just so beautiful. There are many times where I just pop out the photo mode and just take photos. And as you're exploring, you meet side characters, you collect items, you fight a lot of enemies, and then you end up fighting bosses, which was a complete surprise. And then you somehow come out of that and then explore even more. And as I mentioned, you collect certain items. Now, some of these items were also present in Jedi Fallen Order. These would generally be cosmetics. In Jedi Fallen Order, it was ponchos. But in this case, it's not only cosmetic items, but it's also certain items that are of no use to you. But at a later point in time, you can actually use these items and trade to get something in return. So why getting these cosmetic items is so exciting all of a sudden? Well, because in this game, you can customize yourself. Whether it's getting a new hairstyle, beard, jacket, shirt, pants, you can customize it all. And not only that, you can also customize your lightsaber for the first time. Every single part of your lightsaber can be changed to a different part, different color, different material, as well as you can add a overall worn out effect as well. And doing this will not give any kind of bonus to the lightsaber. It will act the same. There is no damage boost, there is no mobility boost. It's only there so that you can make your own lightsaber. It's something that every Star Wars fan wants, and Respawn gives it to us. Similarly, you can design BD1 and you can also design your blaster at one point in time. So you explore all these locations because you have so many cosmetics to find, so many items to collect that you can sell off to these traders that can trade you for everything.
Look into the fire. It will warm you, keep you company on dark, lonesome nights, yes? But left unchecked, it will consume everything in its path until there is only ash.
Another major improvement in this game are characters. This time around, characters are so well thought of because now it's actually fun to interact with these characters. The first planet you ever visit is Kobo, and in that planet there is the hub type system where most of the people are. And as you go to that particular location, you can actually talk to every single character, or at least most of the characters, and you can have small talk, or some of them will actually talk a little more and give you a location to go to. One of those characters is Toa, who is like a historian and loves reading books and getting the history of the place as well as the planets, but does not want to go on a scavenger hunt or do parkour because she's not skilled at it. So she tells you these stories, and now it becomes a side mission for you to explore. Now these side missions are also called rumors, and these side missions are very simple. Either you are meeting someone new, or you are just getting an item from there, or you're finding something new, that they heard a rumor of. So these side missions are not as detailed as Horizon Forbidden West, but it's still fun because you get to explore more. And as you talk to every single character, they have their own small story to tell as they're talking about this said rumor. And also there are times when you meet a certain character, you recruit them to a salon which is in that same planet. So at one point I was able to hire a DJ and a gardener, so now you can choose your own music, go onto the rooftop and plant some seeds, and it's just a fun thing to do. Now the main characters have also improved quite a much, especially Cal. His personality has changed from Jedi Fallen Order being all sweet and happy to Jedi Survivor being very serious, and at one point it felt like he was turning to the dark side. That change in personality is amazing, and it's not done in such a way that all of a sudden he's magically changed, but it's gradually shown how he has developed his personality. Similarly, other characters that were present in Jedi Fallen Order have also improved quite a bit, especially this small relationship between Cal Kestis and Merrin. There's also this new character called Bo Dakuna, who is easily the best new character added to the game because he is the most shiniest, he has a great relationship with you, and he just has a good vibe all around. Now combat in this game might be mixed for people. If you have liked Jedi Fallen Order's combat, then you will definitely like Jedi Survivor's combat, because the combat hasn't changed but has just improved quite a bit. This time around you have multiple stances. So you have single blade, dual blade, double blade, a blade and a blaster, and a crossguard, which is a lightsaber similar to that of Kylo Ren in the Star Wars movies. Unfortunately, none of these stances provides a uniqueness good enough that you want to use these stances. Obviously, using a double-sided lightsaber will help you fight multiple small creatures around you or multiple enemies around you. Maybe dual lightsabers will help you fight quicker, but overall there's nothing unique enough that you want to take that stance instead of the other one. Usually it's some button mashing and utilizing some of the abilities, and the skills are also present in the same way. And so based on what stance you like, you tend to unlock those skills. So the other stances are left unchecked, which is unfortunate because you should be focusing on all the stances. But that's just how they've designed the game, and it's actually not that bad. You have a lot of fun fighting enemies, deflecting and blocking at the same time, and using multiple finishers and abilities. It's overall a lot of fun, but I would have preferred that each of these stances had their own uniqueness and own strengths to it. The same is the case with climbing and parkouring. At certain points it looks great, but there are certain moments where the parkour or the climbing feels off. Games like Uncharted has done it so well where it feels smoother, but here it feels a little weird, and sometimes it feels like it's not possible to climb a particular path, but it ends up being climbable, and sometimes when you think that this area can be climbed, you can't climb there. There are invisible walls that makes no sense. So in those ways, the game is limiting. Now that's not really a bad thing, it's just maybe in the next game, they could hide that in a better way. So Star Wars Jedi Survivor is an absolutely banger of a game. But due to these performance issues, especially on PC, people are not able to experience the game that the Respawn has made. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people have left these negative reviews, which makes sense because the game is supposed to be released in the best state possible. But for someone who wants to play this game, but because of the reviews feels like it's not a good game, that's not the case because the game actually is wonderful. Only wait for a few more weeks so that the game can be patched up, and then you will definitely be able to enjoy this game in the best way possible. And this is also the second game from EA that has done so well. Check this video out to know why Dead Space Remake was so incredible.